it might not be the hard-earned hardware that they most desire, but the President's Trophy will reside on the Rangers trophy case, and the Stanley Cup playoffs will run through the Rangers' home ice. 4-0 the final in Game 82 over the Ottawa Senators. Inside our Delta MSG studios, John Giannone, Henrik Lundqvist, and Steve Valiquette. This guy knows what it's like to win a President's Trophy. He knows the accomplishment to be the best team in the NHL over 82 games. There's something to be said for it.
Well, it just summarized the year they've had. It's incredible how well they played throughout 82 games, how consistent they've been. Even when they're not playing their best, they've been able to find ways to win a lot of hockey games. That's why they're number one in the NHL this year. And they should feel really, really good about themselves going into the playoffs. The way they finished off this game, too, was impressive. Yeah. You know, it's hard not to think about what's coming up, but we also talked about this during the game. And going into this one, there was a lot to play for in this last game. So I'm happy they finished strong and going into the weekend with a very positive feeling.
You know what I thought was really noticeable in this game, guys, was the crowd behind the team before the game even really got going. You heard chants for Panarin for MVP, Rempe every time he had a check, Igor after every big save. Everybody's around them and everybody is pushing them. So I think that the support is there, the pride's there. I think the best news is that everybody is starting the postseason healthy. No injuries. Everybody's in good shape. So by all accounts, that was an outstanding game.
Yeah, it was a season that began in the second week of October in Buffalo with a win, and it ends against the Ottawa Senators at the Garden with a win. And in between, 55 wins in all, 114 points in all. Those are both franchise records. It's the fourth time they've won the President's Trophy. The last time was 9 years ago. They did it during the Stanley Cup year, and they also did it 2 years before that. They've also won 30 out of 41 games at Madison Square Garden, and that ties a franchise record from the 70-71 season. And it was a night where the Rangers knew that if they came out strong and put the Ottawa Senators back on their heels, it would propel them to getting that final victory that they needed in Game 82. And Steve, they scored one in the first, one in the second, both goals assisted beautifully and almost identically by Chris Kreider. We're going to go inside the film room powered by CDW. Steve's going to show us all about that.
It was a fast game in transition. The Rangers had 3 of their 4 goals scored off the rush. A lot of really good work in their own zone with what we would call as stick detail. And the Rangers were really quick to force Ottawa when they thought they had time. They took away that space. Kreider here with a good stick. Now, this allows Roslovic to do the same thing and back up that play, and now they're sprung. And it's a 2-on-1, but the back checker is having a hard time being able to defend. The goaltender, Korpisalo here, he doesn't do a job of getting all the way across. Seems to Hank and I that he was maybe playing it as if it was a 2-on-0. But the next rush play that the Rangers score on, it was the same pressure coming back. Now, keep in mind, this is shorthanded. So you're not going to go for it unless you know everybody is in line and everybody can lean and go as one. So this is where Fox really recognizes that Zibanejad has a play, but watch the speed of Kreider. He flies down the wing to make this a 2-on-1. This allows Fox now to isolate. The pass comes across. It's a deflection very similar to what we saw from Roslovic. 21 goals on 2-on-1s the Rangers scored this year, guys. 21 goals. Good for third in the NHL.
And it was a great move by Fox. If you watch the replay there, and Korpisalo is going for the deflection in the middle of the net, but last second, Fox, instead of keeping the stick right in front, he pushes it towards the first post. And that's why Korpisalo overslides the situation. And that's when you tip a puck like that, as a goalie, you kind of go for where you think the impact's going to be. So when a player changes the angle of the impact quickly like that, it changes everything because your body suddenly is not behind the puck, and that's what happened. It was a quick play and a smart play by Fox.
So a multi-point night for Chris Kreider. He finishes the season 39 goals, 36 assists, 75 points. Multi-point night as well. What else is new for number 10? Artemi Panarin, and he is our Montefiore Einstein Rangers Player of the Week, of course. Week, month, year. Look at the season he put up. Only Jaromir Jagr had more points, only 3 more than the 120 that Panarin had this year. 49 goals, almost got to 50, but it's tied for the 5th most goals in a season. 67 games with a point. Only Brian Leetch has had multiple 70-assist seasons in Rangers history. What a season for Artemi Panarin, who should at very least be a Hart Trophy finalist and will head into the playoffs as the player to watch for the Rangers.
Look, I think that's all he's thinking about right now. He's on a mission. He's been on a mission since the beginning of the season. He's very motivated to produce offensively by playing his style, which is getting inside, causing havoc, shooting right away, opening up passing lanes. Like, you look at the week that he had here, and Philadelphia, he scores low blocker, he goes high glove against Sorokin off the faceoff to tie it late against the Islanders, and then he scores a matter-of-fact goal in the shootout. Big impact again in this game here against Ottawa tonight, where he gets a great deflection over the glove, of course, of Salo, as well as a great assist here to lead the play from Gustafsson over to Lafreniere. But he's doing everything that he needs to do to be ready. And that's what it's all about. It's be ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been so impressive since he arrived in New York. You know, you're a big free agent signing. There's a lot of pressure that comes along with that. But he really delivered for the Rangers ever since he got here. Obviously, after last year in the playoffs, he wanted to do more. I think he's extremely motivated to continue the play he's had this year to bring that into the postseason. But just in terms of when you watch him play, how much he makes the game exciting, and there's a lot of unexpected things that happens when he's out there. And that's, to me, is a sign of one of the best players. When you can change the game and it's unexpected, a lot of times when you sit and watch the game, you can kind of predict what's going to happen, but the best player still fools you because the way they think the game, the way they can see something we don't see when you watch it for the first time.
Slows it right down.
Yeah.
Maybe you see it in a slow-mo situation, but full speed, I mean, he really separates himself.
He began the season with a 15-game point streak. He ends the season with a 13-game point streak and now turns his attention to the weekend when the Rangers will begin the postseason. Let's get the reaction to what happened tonight and across 82 games from the captain of the team, Jacob Trouba, with Michelle Gingras in the dressing room.
So what does tonight's accomplishment mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an accomplishment. I think whenever you're playing for something, for a trophy, it's never never something you take lightly. I think it's kind of good for us to have that mentality of the extra sense of urgency going into the playoffs, and now it's a quick turn of the page and get ready for the real stuff.
What do you think a finish like this can do for the team's psyche going into the playoffs?
I mean, I think it's been pretty consistent all year on even if we drop a couple games, the bounce back and the mentality that we have. I don't know. I think we've just kind of proven to ourselves over and over again the kind of character I guess we have in the room and the resilience. And when we want to play good hockey, we're capable of playing pretty good hockey.
What can you say about Laviolette's emphasis on compete from the start of this season and how the rest of this team has bought into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it started in training camp, before training camp. It's been sustained in practice. I think we always compete, and there's fun. I think as athletes, it's fun to compete, especially with your buddies and your teammates in practice, and that carries over into the game, and you kind of have that energy. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess as athletes, you just want to compete and win something, and whenever you get the opportunity to win something, it's special, and that's why we're all here.
How much of a goal was the President's Trophy through the season?
I don't think it was really thought about much throughout the season. Maybe the last couple games when you know you have an opportunity, it's whatever. Like I said, you're a competitor. If you have an opportunity to win something, you always want to win. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something to be proud of. Honestly, I think not everybody gets to do it. I've never done it in my career. Maybe something you look back on later, but right now it's kind of turned the page pretty quick and look forward to the playoffs.
Has that been a mentality that's kind of gotten you guys to this point? You know, Peter Laviolette talks about focusing on those 2 points, the next 2 points, and then the accolades will come with that. Is that kind of the same thing as you look ahead now?
Yeah, I mean, you want to keep building. We've put ourselves in the best position that we can. Yeah, it's over with. So now it's time to move on and focus on whoever we play in the first round in that first game and build from there. And I think that's what we've done all year is focus one game at a time. And if things don't go our way, we've been pretty good at turning the page and refocusing and I guess rechanneling our energy to the right places. And yeah, I think we feel like we got a good thing going in here.